It's cool. I enjoy doing a lot of things sports-wise. That's kind of how I grew up. I played 4 sports in high school. It was hard coming to college to just focus on one thing, but it's been good for me. Whenever we're in the off season, some of the guys and I will go play basketball, or golf, or pickleball. I even took a pickleball class my freshman year, which was fun. So it's still cool to play those other sports with some of the other guys who have the same interests.
There's been a lot of preseason talk with you about it. You're probably going to have a lot of eyes on you when it comes to the defense and kind of going up against you guys. What is that like to kind of be in that role and be in that position?
Yeah, it's different from where I was last year. I feel like I've taken on more of a leadership role this year, and I've learned a lot from the guys in the past that have came before me, who I looked up to, and I want to be like those guys. Be a person that anybody can come to ask whatever about our defense, about even stuff off the field. So just growing into that leadership role has been a fun challenge for me this offseason.
Who were those guys that you looked up to?
You get guys like Riley Moss, Kayvon, Jack Kerner, who was here my freshman year. Those guys were just fun guys to be around, fun to learn from. They taught me a lot when I came in here.
Devin Hilst hasn't been in the secondary long, but what has stood out from him from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think he's a guy who plays with a lot of confidence when he's back there. He's grown a lot since he's been in our secondary room. He's still got a lot to learn though, and it's fun to see his growth. He's a fun guy to be around. Like I said, he plays with a lot of confidence. So I think he'll be a really good player in the back end.
I mean, how much has his confidence grown even from now to, I think it was bowl practice when he first started getting in the rotation? Even though he's, we'll admit obviously that he's got a long way to go and whatnot, but how much has, even in that time frame, his confidence grown and his, what he's doing back there seems more natural? Yeah,
he's picked up things pretty quick. From a defensive standpoint, it's hard to pick things up right when you get in the room. But as soon as he's gotten going and gotten on the field and been able to see what he's doing on the field and the mistakes or the good things that he's doing, I think he's learned a lot from that. It's been fun to watch him and help him learn throughout his process.
Cooper, I talked to you right before camp, and I'm just curious if you have a different thought now, 8 days in. I asked you who's the toughest guy to cover.
Yeah. And
you kind of deflected on that question because you hadn't been in camp yet. First 8 days, who's the toughest guy to cover?
Yeah, I think me and Vines have had some battles in one-on-ones. Seth Anderson, he's a pretty fast guy, runs some good routes. Caleb Brown, he's been really solid. And then you got Nico as well. I haven't gone up against all of them like one-on-one personally a lot, but Vines is the guy who I've gone against a lot. It's been really fun to compete against him. He's been doing a really good job.
Do you notice, is there a discernible difference with trying to be a cover guy against this offense as opposed to a year ago in fall camp?
Yeah, they've switched some things up. But it's been fun to compete against those guys. Obviously, we brought some new guys in, new faces, so you kind of you aren't as familiar with what they do. So it's been fun to compete against them. Guys like Eric All, Caleb, as I mentioned, Seth Anderson. Those guys are growing a lot in the offense, and I think Cade, the confidence he brings to that side of the ball, I think is really helping the whole offense grow as a whole.
Which walk-ons would you say either side of the ball have impressed you the most? Maybe it's a receiver you have to cover or somebody in your room that's popped off the charts so far?
I think Alec Wick, he's been doing a really good job. Obviously, this past year he got some playing time in the spring as well. It's been fun to compete against him. To be honest, I can't can't even think about who the walk-ons are and who the scholarship guys are. But
that's been said before that it seems like they don't get treated any differently. Is that fair? Like you guys don't really pay attention to who's on scholarship.
No one really pays attention to that. I mean, I could talk about one guy because he's my roommate, Max White. He's been on the scout team for the past couple of years, given great looks, and he's helped our defense, throughout the weeks. So he's another guy who I've really enjoyed to compete against.
Thanks, Cooper.
Thank you.